Welcome to the Michigan Runner Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
The attack crowd on its feet as Jim Ryan pounds for home. 20 yards to go. And 10. We get 350.9. A new world record in the mile run. How about that, Jim? Well, Jim, I'll say that if you can't break 350, you may as well break the world record.
Michigan Runner TV. Here we are on February 14th, 2010, with the great Jim Ryan on the Hillsdale College campus. Jim Ryan, five-time congressman here in his life recently, but also his great 3 Olympic Games in 1964, 68, and 72. Jim, it's great having you in Michigan again. This is our 4th time being together with different years.
It gets better every time, Bill. Thank
great.
you for your work in making this happen.
You know, Jim came to Michigan this weekend for the Michigan High School Coaches Clinic. Could you share a little bit about that and how all that?
Well, it was really a wonderful opportunity to visit with and encourage some people, coaches, who are having a great influence on our young runners and the future of our country. So, in a sense, it was my opportunity to say thank you. But we also talked about running. They wanted to hear a little something about the first 4-minute mile, how it took place, and the training leading up to it. So I get a chance to reflect on some of the workouts. I had an opportunity to give them a disclaimer because I told them that what we were doing isn't something that I would necessarily encourage them to consider, just maybe take the principles, because we had so much overtraining that I'd be concerned about what it might do to some of the young runners that didn't have the background. But it was a wonderful weekend with the coaches, and I congratulate them on what they're doing.
They put a great clinic together. I think there were close to 900 coaches. I mean, in that area, they were proclaiming that this is the largest clinic that they've had at the Michigan High School Coaches Clinic. That's MITCA, which is the Michigan Interscholastic Track Coaches Association. Well, it was a great weekend with all that, and then we were blessed to be able to swing you on over, get you here to Hillsdale College. I know we have a great relationship. The Jim Ryan running camps are great, an amazing opportunity, and the way where you have your hand in athletics with leading young men and women. You want to tell people a little bit about the Jim Ryan running camps?
Well, first of all, they go to the website, Ryan Running, RYUN running.com, and they'll learn a lot about it. But we've been doing these for almost 38 years, and it's a wonderful opportunity. Bill, you're one of those that has been there helping us. You know, we're trying to help and shape and mold these young runners and give them a future hope. You know, you have the spiritual, the mental, and the physical that we work on. We have the emphasis on the camp is not so much that you take 1 week of physical training away, but rather you take the principles. And so we have all kinds of talent levels. We have some that come and go back and make their high school team and do really well. We have others like Ryan and Sarah Hall. Ryan came as a sophomore in high school and became our best marathoner right now and is running really well. We have Jen Behringer, who is
in the world.
steeplechaser, you know, excellent.
Ryan, Sarah, like you say, Ryan, Sarah Hall, Sarah Bay. Just tremendous runner out of California, one of the great footlocker runners. And there's other young rising stars. We can mention those. They're kind of the pros on the scene right now. And, you know, there's other young ones coming up. I'll tell you, you know, it's been just super to see the impact on the American distance scene. And I think the thing that I'm excited about for you too, Jim, let's talk a little bit about, you know, if we call it they'll be calling it the Jim Ryan Mile, but what's ahead on the national scene that you've been telling me about?
Still in the process, Bill. We're still in the process. We want to start, see if we can't build the sport back up, probably starting with the mile, developing it into something that has a bright future. You know, we still, I believe, have the greatest talent pool out there, but like everything, it needs some encouragement, and so we're going to work on a program that will be announced a little later with the emphasis on the high school mile, chasing to the 4-minute mile.
You know, in 1968, that middle of those 3 Olympic efforts, 1968, Mexico City, it was a special day for you. I mean, in a lot of ways, and so tough to now. Here you're at the Olympic Games and your second Olympics, and here it's in the midst of running at altitude. So it was a challenge, certainly at 7,200 feet, Mexico City. I ran at altitude before too. I know you make no excuses, and who needs to, being a silver medalist. But some of your thoughts on that experience and how the country would view it. our United States of America.
Well, they are real excited about gold medals. Silver don't quite count as much, but I felt it was one of my better races.
Tremendous.
I was honored to have it, and I still treasure that moment. You know, certainly I'd like to have seen it at sea level, but I still cherish that silver medal, and I look back on it as an opportunity to adjust to some very difficult circumstances. You know, it was one of the few Olympics that I know of in modern times where we had 3 Americans in the final. You had myself, Marty LaCory, and Tom Von Ruden.
Beautiful. Yeah,
it was a great final for us to have.
Trio. Yep. Well, you know, and for me, just a little bit on my background, but coming out of Michigan and being a kind of just a marginal runner, or just starting to run track my senior year of high school, but then to go into community college experiences the way I did it. I went to Jackson Community College, a great running program at the time that was underway in sports, but I was able to go on to choose Kansas. I went to the University of Kansas and to follow in after Jim Ryun. So our age is about a 7-year spread, but to have that opportunity to be around you, to train with you, it was special. It was really special.
And only a few guys can wear this jersey back here.
The Kansas pink and blue, yes.
See, but Bill was one of them. But I remember the opportunity to recruit Bill back in the 70s when it was legal to do that. I could call and visit with you a little bit and was telling you what a great coach Timmons was.
You know what I remember most of all, too, and we didn't expound on that tonight. This was a great talk, by the way, that Jim gave on the Hillsdale College campus. But one of the things I really remember just so vividly with Jim calling me is he wasn't just trying to say choose this school over that school and try to compare or do negative recruiting, but the man of God that he is, and the way to encourage me as a young runner is look at your choices, compare things as you look closely at the people, and pray about that decision. And what I did with all that is that was a great word, because how does an 18, 19, 20, 20-year-old, in my case I was only 18 years old at the time, even though I was already in junior college, but how to make those big decisions that are going to be, they're monumental in a way really, because it's for your future and your life. And I loved Michigan, and I will say to you, it was University of Michigan where I would eventually go on and later return and do my graduate school work. My own very lovely wife, Sharon, being a U of M grad too. So there's a love for Michigan, but to go away to school to Kansas, and because of the icon, I'll use that word because truly, Jim, and still to this day, the records that you set, and not only at Kansas, but in our country and in the world, it gave us young runners just so much encouragement, and to strive for that. That was a great thing to shoot for, to try to go after. They're so far out there, by the way, and they still are, those great records that Jim Ryun set. So we're so enthused on this day, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2010, to have you. I think Hillsdale showed a little bit of love, but Michigan showed some love to have Jim Ryun in our great state, and to be able to have him at the Michigan High School Coaches Clinic and at Hillsdale College. Fire up Michigan Runner TV.
Very good. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you all for coming. God bless you.